Hey guys, I'm Sceptor, and today I'm going to give you 15 tips that pro players will use all the time. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video so you get all of these tips. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the video, and let's get straight into it. My first tip, and this is very important, is to play with people you know, whether you're using friends, clubs, or look for a team, just so you can get a preset comp before the game. This will increase your win rate quite a bit, and it will just mean that you're more confident going into each game, more confident that you can win because you'll hopefully have some good brawlers on the map. The next tip, which carries on quite nicely, is to play the best brawlers on the map. Now, if you're not sure what the best brawlers on the map are, you can go to a website called Brawl Stats. I will link it in the description, and it will tell you the best brawlers on each of the maps currently in rotation. Or, of course, you could subscribe to my channel where I'll be doing tier lists and all of that sort of stuff. So make sure you're playing the best brawlers, it will increase your win rate, and make sure you're pushing lots of trophies. Now, you should always try and play a mixture of game modes and brawlers so you can improve your overall skill, game sense, and strategy. It also means that you're knowing what the enemy is thinking when they're playing certain brawlers and certain comps in certain game modes, so you can counter their gameplay a lot easier. Thinking about countering enemy brawlers moves me on to my next tip, which is to memorise some certain brawler stats. This means that you know how much damage your brawler can do in a certain amount of ammo, and you know how much damage the enemy can do in a certain amount of ammo, so you know how you can take them out and what your matchups are going to be. Now, once you've figured out a great matchup in that certain match, you're going to want to choose the lane that that brawler who you counter is on. Now, depending on whether you're playing a mid or a lane brawler, it's going to change, but if you're playing a lane and you counter another lane, you should definitely be on that lane. Now, once you are on that lane, it moves me on to my next tip, which is to stick to that lane. Now, you can always switch lane if the enemy team switches lane and you need to do that, or if you'll be better on a certain lane. But do not switch between mid and lane constantly throughout a game. It will get very confusing to yourself, and generally each brawler is good in a specific role which you're going to want to stick to throughout the entire game. Now, once you've got control of your lane and your team has got control of the map, you might want to try and spawn trap the enemy. This means that you'll be constantly killing them, not letting them out of their little spawn area, and it means that they're pretty much going to be able to do nothing to you, and you're just going to be able to keep killing them and killing them and killing them. This is pretty much good in every game except maybe Brawl, where you're trying to push into their spawn, but on Bounty, Gem Grab, Hot Zone, spawn trapping is very, very important. If you happen to get into any trouble during a game, it's really good to be able to communicate with your teammates effectively. Now, I would really recommend trying to use a voice chat if it's people you know, so that you can talk to them during a game and talk about what you're doing and the strategy. However, if you can't do that, try to have some sort of language with pins that's set before the game, if you're using club members or friends that you don't actually know, so that you can communicate at least a little bit throughout the game. Maybe you could say sad faces retreat, angry faces attack, that sort of thing. Just have some sort of way to communicate with your teammates. Now, if you're doing really well, you might want to improve your skill even more. So you're going to want to push brawlers that you have higher in trophies. You might want to push to rank 25 or even to rank 30, as this will improve your overall skill as you're playing against better players. Now, if you don't really know how to push a rank 25 or you're not very good at that sort of thing, make sure to check out my rank 25 tips and tricks video. I'll leave a link in the description, or you can press the little button up in the top corner of your screen. Now, if you're finding that you're struggling hitting shots with brawlers like Piper or long-range sharpshooters, then maybe you might want to go into from friendly battles. Do something maybe on Purple Paradise, the bounty map. Do some 1v1s against your friends, or do 1v1s against bots, 1v2s against bots. Practice hitting your shots. Now, I'd really recommend doing it against real people. Bots are very different in ways that they move, their dodging patterns. They don't actually really have dodging patterns much. So, I'd recommend playing against real people. If you can't play against bots, can't play against real people, play against bots, and you'll be fine. Just practice hitting your shots. Now that you've practiced hitting your shots, you might also want to practice dodging shots. Now, in terms of practicing hitting and dodging shots, you're going to want to do it for a few different shots. Sharpshooter shots, thrower shots, and possibly even some other special shots. You might want to try and dodging Spike's curveball. If you want to see how to do that, I can make a video on all sorts of dodging patterns and different ways of dodging. Or there are other videos on YouTube if you look it up. But you're going to want to practice dodging shots. Again, try and practice against friends. They're going to be a lot better than bots. But if you can't practice against friends or club members, then you can do it against bots. Of course, you can do it in real games, but you might want to get better first so you don't risk losing trophies on that sort of thing. There may be other things you want to practice outside of dodging shots and hitting shots in friendly games, so I'd recommend making a map in the map maker that can help you train on a specific aspect of the game. If you guys want to see a video on how to do this sort of thing, I'd be really happy to make a video on that. Just comment down below and subscribe, and you'll get notified as soon as I make that video. Now, if you keep getting loads of lag, you should probably try and find a certain position wherever you are, maybe it's in your house, where you're really close to Wi-Fi and you don't lag, and then whenever you want to play properly and get into a group with some friends, always go there so you don't lag. Because there's nothing really more frustrating than lagging and just not really knowing what to do. You're just stuck there lagging and you can't really do anything. So try and find a good spot in your house where you don't lag. Now, the next tip won't make a massive difference, but if possible, try to have sound effects on. As I said, it won't make a massive difference, but it can improve your reaction speeds a little bit, especially if you don't have a very high reaction speed with your eyes. Your ears will definitely help in that sense. It means that you can hear when brawlers are around, you can hear bushes moving, you can hear shots coming out, so it's really useful to have sound effects on. Now, my final tip, that is 15, my final tip is to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing tier lists, tips and tricks, and much, much more every week. So you're going to want to subscribe. I'll give you loads and loads of juicy content so that you can watch it and get better at the game. Thanks for watching the video. That is the end of the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed and like the video. Comment down below what sort of video you might like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.